I developed this wizard to create the ribbons, so you don't need to deepen your understanding of XML. Here, you have everything you need to set up and install the ribbons, making the process enjoyable, fun, and very, very fast to do. I believe this is the first tool designed for Access for the purpose of assisting the assembly of ribbons. What makes me happy is that it has a great potential as a learning tool. It will save you from memorizing names and writing, allowing you to focus on the development itself. In 2 or 3 lessons, you will be able to deploy the ribbons in their applications, providing a great appearance and professional navigation. This is where we will write the XML. Here, a list of all the controls used. Here, attributes and gets associated with each control selected. C. In this field is made a control writing with its respective attributes and selected gets. We will select some. After adjusting, copying and pasting to the correct point within the XML. The idea here is to spend less time writing, minimize typing errors, and avoid memorizing names and how to spell these names. The whole upper part of Access is known as the Fluent Ribbons. It contains the title bar, the Office button, the Toolbar Quick Access, and tabs. All the ribbon can be modified or replaced by a custom interface, and that's what we will see, how to make it through the lessons. When we are developing a wizard, one of the steps to be taken, usually, is not to allow the user to access the development tools of Access. Fortunately, Microsoft has greatly facilitated our lives, creating the attributes in the tag ribbon that allow you to hide almost all the top ribbon. First, let us remember the structure of XML using this image. For the first configuration, we use only 2 of these layers. That are the scheme layer and layer of the ribbon. This is the minimum configuration used. I already have the writing saved here. C. The external tag that represents the scheme and the ribbon tag with the attributes searched from scratch. This attribute will allow us to disable almost all the upper ribbon of Access, just changing it to true. Any change here in the writing of the XML and the whole text will change to red, indicating that you must press the F5 key to refresh and see the results of the modification. See, this region is all clean. Here, in the Office button, also remain 6 active controls. These 4 are associated with the Office button, and these 2 with commands to access. Let's get back to the structure of the XML. Let's add a layer that controls the Office button, which is this one. Its tag is Office Menu. Note that this layer is inserted into the layer of the ribbon. In the list of controls, we select the Office menu. And I already created some of the buttons that we will use. I will choose those 4 assets that are the New, Open, Save As, and Close database. The visible attribute that allows you to hide the buttons is already set to false. Now, you just need to copy and paste it into the position within the ribbon. Within the ribbon, F5. Let's see the result. The remaining are those 2 that are handled by the access control layer. This is the responsible layer. Its tag is Commands. Note that it's above the ribbon layer. Thus, we selected the tag Commands, choose Access Options and Exit Access. We also choose this one, which disables the button Help. Here's the button. Copy, paste. Paste then above the ribbon. Remember the structure? It has to be above the layer of the ribbon. F5. See? With a little programming we can activate the whole upper ribbon. You can customize the Microsoft Office button and the Quick Access toolbar. Let's start from the toolbar. See the image. This customization is done by this layer. Using the tag QAT, short for Quick Access Toolbar. We select then the tag QAT, copying and pasting the writing into the layer ribbon. Remember the structure in the layer ribbon. Here we can use several access controls. I want to show you a list of controls. Click in IDMSO. Note that there are over 200,000 controls. Right away, we get the controls used in the Quick Access toolbar. I will customize the control bar with Update All. Note that this is a command button. Copied and pasted the name in the attribute IDMSO of the tag button. Copied and then pasted into the tag QAT. Update. Set here, F5, see the result. We can also add here other access buttons. Let's get the chance to insert the button Close Database. He is here in our layer of the Microsoft Office button. Let's copy and paste here in our layer of the toolbar. I will delete the visible attribute because the attribute is true and we don't need it. F5, see the result? Similarly, you can customize the Microsoft Office button, but with the advantage that we can create our own buttons. Let's create a button. We always have to insert the ID, which is a unique identity of the control that will be very useful when programming its functionality. Label, the image MSO, will allow us to use the images from the gallery of the Office. Click on the Picture button. When choosing an image, its calling name will be displayed. Then, we copy and paste the attribute image MSO and paste it here. Label test. Now, we will copy and paste into the tag Office menu, into the layer of the button. Okay? F5. Right, huh? Now, let's customize with the Ctrl Access Repair and Compress. Open the list ID MSO. I will use this column to filter the list, searching for Office menu. Filter 37 controls. I'll search here, then, for the control Compact and Repair. It's here. It's important to note which kind of control it is. In this case, it's a button. Let's copy and paste the attribute IDMSO button. IDMSO. Let's pass to call the control. We copy into the layer of the Office button in the tag Office menu. F5. Let's see the result. It's here. Well, it's time to start creating the ribbons. Note that they consist of tabs, a division by groups, and finally, the controls placed in groups. Note the layer and their tags. The pink layer representing the tab, the green layer representing the group, and added in the group a layer that represents all the controls. I have here an example. the tab, tab 1, and group 1. Note that the tag tab that represents the tab must have the ID. Here, the tag group, also with its required ID. Let's create a button within this group. The required ID, label, image MSO, and the size. Copy and paste into the group. We return to the assembly because we did not complete the attribute values. The ID, BT test. We will choose an image from our gallery. Okay, copy the name and paste it here in our image MSO attribute. Label, button group 1. Size, let's opt for large. Okay, now copy and paste into our group. F5. Oops, I think I made a mistake in writing. Note that our ribbon is gone. Well, if you make any mistake here, the ribbon crashes without giving you any hint of what's happening. The mistake I made is here in the attribute size. I wrote an L at the end of large. F5. Okay, it's working again. The good part in My Assistant is that you feed the XML and test it immediately. With this, you can quickly detect any mistake made. Nevertheless, I want you to turn in, on your access, the ribbon error message, that by default, and as we have noticed, is disabled. Access options. In Advanced, we select Show Add-in User Interface Errors. Check it. We will simulate the mistake that I had made with the value of the size. This message indicates the line that contains the error and can usually give a good description of the error. Here, it clearly states that the error is the value of the size. Fix. F5. OK. Now, you will see how this class can be summarized in 2 minutes or less, just filling out the form. Click New Ribbon. In this form, We'll create then all the original XML structure necessary for the development of your custom interface. I'll name it Principal Ribbon RB. Here is the comment that best identifies the purpose of the ribbon in the project. Here, the shortcut key to call the tab. We'll see it in another class. Here is the name of the tab. I'll call it Principal. Now the name of the groups. Entries, Queries, Variables, Tools, Info, and Exit. Could create another tab here, but let's just keep with one. Now we can disable here some of the buttons. Montar ribbon? Yes. That's it. Here is the writing to you, and created here the tab and the groups. The fun now is up to you to create the controls. Take a look here in the writing. See what we have learned, how it's organized. Here, the indication of the groups for you to enter your controls. Have fun there, creating your buttons. In the next lesson, you will learn how to export ribbons, made here for a sample application. We will also see the programming part.